Welcome to this video where we're going to talk about some of the cool new features of Windows 7. Specifically today what I wanted to talk about are some enhancements in the taskbar that I think you're going to like a lot because they're going to make it much easier to deal with your daily workload. So a very common circumstance is that we're working within multiple windows, multiple programs, and we're constantly switching back and forth between things that we're working on. So a typical example would be a desktop that looks a lot like this. I've got a lot of windows open, I've got a lot of things going on, and maybe I'm working in a couple of different Word documents and I have 4 or 5 internet windows open, and maybe I have my email and so forth and so on. So the first thing I want to show you is this feature that we just saw an example of, and that is a feature called Arrow Peek. So Arrow Peek is kind of an enhancement to the old hey, show me my desktop feature that used to be present on a lot of versions of Windows. So if I come down to the lower right-hand corner of my taskbar, there's a little button here, which is the Arrow Peek button. And what I'm doing is I'm using a mouse technique called hovering. I'm not clicking anywhere. I'm hovering over this Arrow Peek button on the taskbar, and then I'm hovering away from it, and I'm hovering over to it, and over away to it. And what this is doing is this is giving me visibility, makes all my windows transparent, and I can see onto my desktop. And maybe there is something I want to open here in addition to what's currently open. So all I'm going to do is hover over to the Arrow Peek button. This time I'm going to click, and that actually hides all of my windows. Okay. If I were to click again, I can now get all my windows back in the exact same layout and place they were before. Okay. But what I need to do is I need to go find another document. So I'm going to click on the Arrow Peek button. I'm going to go to this folder that's on my desktop. And inside that folder, I know that there's a document that I need, and that is this PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going to open that one up. And now I can begin working on that. Okay. So Arrow Peek, very, very useful in terms of being able to show or hide a particular desktop to us. This feature is also, by the way, available with a keystroke combination. If you hold down the Windows key and tap your space bar, you're going to see this Arrow Peek functionality. When I release my Windows key, Windows come back. If I really want to go work on my desktop, I can use the Windows key and the letter D. And now this is the same as clicking the Arrow Peek button. Window and D again will bring my windows back. So Arrow Peek, that's the first little enhancement. But again, you know, a lot of times we've got a lot of different windows that are open and we're working in a bunch of different things. And so another great new feature in Windows 7 is this live preview, and you've already seen an example of it, but this live preview of open windows. If you look, I have a number of Word documents open, and the way they're displayed on the taskbar is as a stack of documents here. One button with a stack of documents. And in the old days, maybe we had separate buttons for each document that had a name on it, but as you open more and more windows, the buttons would get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you couldn't really see anything. So instead of that, we now have this really cool live preview from our taskbar. When I hover, again using the hover technique with the mouse, when I hover over that Word document, you can see that any of my open Word documents are visible to me along with their names. When I go over and I hover over these individual documents, it brings up a full screen or full window size view of those documents. Okay? And I can now see which document or what's going on in these documents. Notice that I have the ability to close a window right from here. Okay, the ability to close right from here. So it's very, very cool. If I decide, hey, I do want to be working on this particular document, I can just click on it, and now that becomes the active window. So it's very easy using this hover to find the document I want and make a particular document the focus of my attention. Another cool little feature here that's a lot of fun is this shake feature. So if I take this window, and this is the one I really need to focus on, so if I take it and I just shake it, notice how all of my other windows disappear, and now I can fully focus on this particular window. If I shake it again, all those other windows come back. So again, that's a fun feature, the shake and then shake to bring back. So this live preview helps me as well because I can see a number of different things that are open and really quickly identify what I want to work on and get right to it. Again, this is not stuff that you couldn't do before, but it just takes much less time, much less clicks. And this is what we mean when we say user interface enhancements. Okay? The cool thing about the live preview is that it works not only for the application that I'm currently active in, but it's very easy for me to go over and see, hey, I've got a number of Internet Explorer windows open, so I'm going to just come over here and just hover while I'm in Word. And let me even full screen that for you because this is the way most of us work in Word, right? I'm going to come over here and just hover over my Internet Explorer icon, and here are all of my windows that I've got open, my browser windows, and I can just hover and scan across anything that's going on and take a look at them. So that's pretty neat as well. If I find a window I want to focus on here, I'll just click on it, but I can just hover, see what's going on, and then just hover away, and boom, I'm back to my Word document. So very, very cool hover and live preview. The last taskbar enhancement that I want to talk to you about is this feature called a jump list. And so we'll use we'll use Internet Explorer to demo this for you as well. So in the Internet Explorer application, if I hover over the taskbar button, I see all of my open windows. And what's cool, by the way, if you notice, I'll make one active, whether I'm in separate tabs, because these first bunch of windows are separate tabs, but then this Cisco window here is actually its own window. That's the only tab in this window, but it still shows up alongside the rest of them. So kind of neat to be able to browse across any open tabs and or browser windows that I see. But the jump list, if I right click instead of hovering, I don't get live preview. What I get is what I'm going to call a jump list. And so this jump list is useful because it's going to show me a number of very important things here. It's going to show me any of the browser windows that I frequently visit. It's going to show me any common tasks that I might want to do using this application, and I have the ability to pin some things to the start bar here. So if I, for example, go to this community forum on a regular basis, I can very easily just pin it to that list. What will that do for me? Anytime in the future I want to get to that window, all I have to do is right click and then click on the pinned item, and boom, I'm right there. So very, very neat the way I can go to a pinned window. I can also unpin very easily. Right? And application developers can make use of this jump list functionality, and you'll see a lot of really cool things moving forward now that Windows 7 is out in the market. For example, the new version of Office will have a tremendous amount of common tasks built right into the jump list. Again, these are tasks that you could get to otherwise. I could get to the Open New Tab feature or the Start in Private Browsing feature of Internet Explorer. Or I could get to some of the Word functionality, PowerPoint functionality, or even iTunes functionality, like to play a track. But I have to find the iTunes window, I have to go over to the play button, and I have to click it. Here all I do is right-click and come up to play the song or go to the store or whatever feature I wanted. And again, keep an eye out because this is a feature that application developers are going to be taking a lot of advantage of. So some real cool, real quick user interface enhancements to help you work on a busy, cluttered desktop like we all have in Windows 7. Look for more videos from New Horizons in detailing some of the great new features that you can leverage in upcoming technologies.